And welcome in, Gyms and Gymettes, to another exciting edition of No Substitute for Sports. I'm your host, Nick Johnston. This is episode number 36. And no, unlike the NFL, we aren't accusing anyone here at the No Substitute for Sports offices of faking injuries. It's mostly because we don't have insurance. So don't say anything. Thank you, as always, for tuning into the No Substitute for Sports podcast on the Degenerates Network YouTube page. If you're just stumbling upon us, hit that subscribe button, but only after you hit the like button on this video. Maybe share us around, tell your friends, tell your prison pen pal. But only,
That's a
only if
good
they've
one.
done, only if they've done white collar crimes. Stuff we don't want any messy murders or anything like that. It gets a little hairy, many bank robbers. Yeah, maybe bank robbers. Yeah, that's treatable. You can follow us on Twitter at Degenerates, also known as X. And every Friday, 1 p.m. Central, I go live on twitch.tv/SportsTownShy for No Substitute for Sports. Live, clean up anything we don't get to here, possibly breaking news, anything there. Also, check out Bad Karma Wrestling. I just shared that today on the Facebook, so check out Bad Karma Wrestling. We're switching days. It was on Mondays, but we're gonna go on Fridays right before the No Substitute for Sports live. So keeping it nice and tight. We're gonna be live going
Wow.
Facebook Live. It's on Facebook. I'll let me make sure. I don't want to have to edit in later. So
You gotta confirm it.
yeah, for sure on Facebook Live. Go on X Bomb Sports, X dash Bomb Sports. That's what it's streaming on. So go ahead. Bad Karma Wrestling, me and Danny Double D Dykstra, David Dykstra. I'm no gimmick Nick Johnston over there. We had to make a nickname. It is what it is. Either way, check us out anywhere and everywhere. Tons to get into today. Plenty to talk about. Week 2 recapping Bears from me. Packers from the Mike guy, and the rest of the league's matchups. We'll take a both cracks at both of those. Next, we'll hit our fantasy league. Maybe stick around in there. Like I said, it is personal, but you can always maybe hear some nice little tidbits from the fantasy side of things. Matchups from this past week. Look ahead to next week as well with the matchups and the face-offs. Interesting one because we don't know. Spoiler alert: we're playing each other. It's me versus Mike this week.
Hmm.
Yeah. If you aren't aware, there are other sports other than football. So we'll lightly touch upon the pennant races, and Ohtani leaving. I know they called it he's on IR for his oblique, but he left. Finally, AEW Grand Slam card, Royal Rumble 2024 location revealed, and finally, The Rock has come back to ruin Cody's story. All that, tons more in between. But before we get
I
underway,
can't
let me
do the
introduce to
eyebrow.
you my friend and co-host, the founder and CEO, Fat Cat _ Streams. He's been playing the Madden 2024. It is Mikey J. Fat Cat. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I just got embarrassed in Madden
Oh
tonight.
no,
It was a hard loss, but
you're
hopefully
playing the
can.
Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if you don't want to bury the lead on that one. You're
Oh,
playing a tough team.
he was undefeated. He was cooking. So hopefully I can bounce back next game. But always a pleasure to be here, ready to rock and roll with the podcast. And
Oh, always appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this. I understand. Like this is just fun. This is all fun and games. So
of course.
always extra reps. That's what we like doing here. Interesting weekend, fun weekend as always. We met up, like I said, we watched the games, but there's other stuff I just want to deeply dive into. You got anything just off the top of the dome, or you just want we can hop into these appetizers that I got ready?
Uh, no, no. I guess the only thing I can think of is my brother showed me Shutter Island yesterday because I'm
Ooh,
trying to watch a bunch of movies that I haven't seen, like those good movies like that, and that was awesome.
oh yeah, that's a fun one. Leonardo DiCaprio for sure. That's another good one for him. Then obviously the twist is that was a good one. I think I saw it around the time that it came out. So a little younger, but still appreciated how nice it was. So that was a fun ride. Shutter Island. Yeah, of course. We're thinking of the same movie. So
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
loved it. So if you've never seen it before, go watch Shutter Island,
That's a
baby.
good one. I know we've talked about talked about some sports movies that you need to watch and indulge in. So I think we'll take the time and we'll go ahead and watch that. Oh, there was one I was thinking about the other day. Oh, the Foot Fist Way. I've mentioned this before to you with Danny McBride. I think I'm gonna have to just we're gonna sit down one day. We're gonna just go watch the Foot Fist Way. I think it's on Paramount. One of those streaming sites.
I'd love to. I love any movies like that. Movies in general, I'm there, man.
It's like it's pretty anxiety ridden. It's like really awkward comedy, I think, but you'll appreciate it. The stuff that I've been sharing with you. You know my sense of humor.
Yeah.
All righty. So yeah, we'll make a big old list of things for you to watch. Throw it in the comments. What should Mike watch this week or every throughout the week? That's gonna be the goal.
Put it in the
Uh
damn comments.
put it down below. We got appetizers to dive into, Mikey. How about we hit this one really quick? They revealed aliens in Mexico from Peru, though. Uh, this is crazy that not only we're talking about this, it's been what, just under a week that it was revealed, and it's basically just been buried underneath the headlines already because football's happening. But I wanted to get your initial thoughts. I think it's absolutely fake. They look like chocolate bars. They look like ceramic little projects that you would make in class. Yeah, good props, but I don't trust like that. Thoughts on the mummified aliens there, Mikey guy?
They don't look real at all.
Thank you very much.
I
Like, it was
thought the
so
same thing.
underwhelming. Like I don't know why everyone around me was showing it to me in class, and they're like, "Oh, it's aliens." I'm like, is it? Is it really? Is it really aliens? And if it
Mm.
is, do I why do I care? Gas is still $4 and milk is $5 and eggs are true to roof and
Oh,
it doesn't affect my daily thing. Like having aliens exist or not, that's been the whole thing. It's just like it's unless they're gonna come down and start paying my bills, I don't care. I don't care. Truly, I don't care. So that's just me. I don't know. It's crazy and this the sources essentially trust me, bro. So I don't trust like that. So again, any thoughts on these? Yeah, other than just fake.
yeah. It just did not seem real at all. That's just what I was thinking when the video first came out, and yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I
It
can't
just
believe
seems
they
weird
took the
that they're like
time.
mummies. Like what?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
One is they said one was 3,000 or 5,000 years old. The other one was like 10,000 years old, something ridiculous. I
How
was like,
can you prove that?
oh, I didn't pay enough attention in science class to know. Yeah, just
That's crazy.
that was not my bingo card for the news today on shit like that. I did not. And again, it's just like, crazy to me. Like I should feel like I should care, but I just don't. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be something. We need more. We need proof. I don't know. We need real proof.
Give
Either
us
way,
more.
yeah, give me more. There's that. Quick appetizers today. One more, and it's a nice little transition into football as well. Jig McMahon, former Bears QB. We may need him back, unfortunately, if he wasn't completely almost senile, unfortunately. He's got a new cannabis line, calling it Mac 9. Calling it Mac 9. I think that's gonna be nice and cool. I don't know. I don't have the full details on how to purchase, where to go buy. Obviously, gonna have to be 21 years or older in that sense, and wherever it is legal in your state. Uh, but yeah, I mean, just shout out the old heads, including most of these wrestlers, and like Mike Tyson getting all these weed strains. I think that's pretty cool. I just thought it would be interesting if maybe one day we all kind of bought one somehow, some way, each one bought something. So like I don't know, I'll pick up the Mac 9. Alan can go pick up the a Woo pack from Ric Flair. If you want your name's Mike, so you can go pick up the Mike Tyson pack.
Yeah.
Uh, Fucking Nick can go get the Hulk Hogan pack. And then our buddy Bill, he's good with Joey Diaz, so he can go get some heat from Joey Diaz, I'm sure, and we'll just have a good old time. I think it'll be a nice little party with that. So, any thoughts on Mac 9 and just all these old guys in general coming in and just making the money on the weed? on the weed. Get off the weed.
Yeah, I saw the post about him making that, and it's awesome, man. If they partake in it and they feel like they can make a business out of it in some way off their name or whatever the fuck, fuck it.
And good for him too, because like I said, I don't want to make light of it, but either he's had some big issues with just like his brain in general. He had a lot of concussions. He's been a main focus on that. So he's been doing a lot of experimental things to just get his memory back. There was that one story where he would be out on his porch and he wouldn't know where he was because his brain was so
Oh
messed up.
no.
So it's gotten better. He said his brain is just his short attention, his short term memory has gotten better over time, but uh, it's due from experimental shit and being able to, I guess, smoke and just enjoying some a little THC, a little bit of CBD, whatever it seems to be. So, I mean, it's good. I mean, if a little bit in his pocket too goes towards other treatments that he's got probably got going on. All for it. Shout out to him. Get better. Stick around as much as you can. Those 85 Bears, they deserve it. Uh, like I said, maybe a good transition too. It's quick little light on the apps today, and that's how it should be because there's tons and tons of football to get to. Obviously, got our fantasy stuff to get to as well. And we got even other sports to get to as well. So if you're ready to roll, we can bounce right into Bears, Packers, and then the rest. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds fine to me.
All righty. Did you want to take the reins? You want to go first on the Packers, or did you want me to go on the Bears really quick?
Um, you can go on the Bears first.
Okay. Yeah, it might not be anything new that anybody hasn't heard. I'll try and keep it as original as possible. I mean, like I said, I've just heard a lot between defending and blaming Justin Fields. This game was all over the place. Man, just just feelings off the top of the dome. Super disappointing. This was going to be a game for sure that the Bears should have probably won. I know maybe the weather wasn't in their favor. I found out that the Bears are like 0-3 in September going down to Tampa Bay these past couple of years, past couple of seasons that they played them. So going down there when it is like 90 plus in Florida heat hasn't been so good for the Bears as of late, and now 0-4 in September as of this game. You can't make Baker Mayfield look like a stud. I know I'll complain and I'll say ref ball, but Mike Evans, I mean, at least yeah, at least like 70 to 100 yards of his yardage should have been taken away. I don't want to take away. It still would have gave him a huge game, but the push off, he does it so well that he hides it. So I mean, I can tip my cap to that, but still refs got to be on that in some way, and that's what burns you, and that's what takes the energy out of a team that was already down. Eddie Jackson and Brisker both got hurt during the game, and even Darnell Mooney on the offensive side went ahead and left. So you needed juice from somewhere, and you weren't going to get it when Mike Evans was just making miraculous play after miraculous play, long plays, huge touchdown. I think he had 173 yards and a score. Overall, like I said, that made Baker Mayfield look like a stud. Yannick Ngakoue, when you make contact, you need to sack him. Stop getting around the shoulders and hit low. That's probably the first thing you find out when you're trying to learn how to tackle is you go low and try not to get I don't know. It's just unbelievable. Couldn't get any pressure. The fact that the Bears couldn't really get any sack or do anything against this offensive line was atrocious. I don't want to put too much on the Bears defense. They kept him in as much as they could. It was definitely this one was on Fields. And this was the first time that made me really think, damn, like again, not developing at all, really, just not at all. And I disappointed right now, but I'm also in the back of my mind, I was like, in the preseason, this could have happened. And there's this chance where it's just this is the prove it year. It sucks if he isn't the guy because he's a nice guy. I want to believe in him. I've been trying to believe in him. I see the mold of what could be, but it just isn't coming through. And unfortunately, I just gonna have to deal with the fact that just go the Bears just might have to look ahead into the draft and see what the prospects are going to be QB wise. So That's the unfortunate part. You see the screen cap of, oh, this guy's wide open, and I've seen both sides of, yes, he's wide open, but it's not Madden. He's not throwing over the middle is very dangerous. But running directly into the defensive line, that can't happen. Scores need to be made, and it wasn't happening. Overall, atrocious from top to bottom. The only thing I can say again is, once again, Roshan Johnson coming in. Deontay Foreman was a healthy scratch, so just showing that he's just skyrocketing up the depth chart. I don't know what that necessarily means for Foreman. Maybe we move him, maybe we cut him in some sort of way, but I don't know what the game plan is there. Either way, just another form of everyone needs to get better. And the next challenge is the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Bears are 13-point dogs, and they should be. They should probably be more. So I don't know. I might be missing more. DJ Moore. Speaking of Moore, DJ Moore actually did show up. 6 receptions, over 100 yards. Claypool got the touchdown. I wish he participated more. But yeah, just again, not looking good. This one was on Fields. This one was on Fields, and I don't want to take any more time. Just this one was on Fields. He needs to step up. He's going to be the guy for the year. That's going to be the thing. The Bears aren't going to make a move, a midway move. They're probably not going to bench him unless he's just absolutely dog buns and has like a 4 or 5 turnover game. That's probably when you see the backup come in. But until then, Fields is going to be at the helm. He needs to go. And I'm not happy when I say that, but he's going to have to just sit there and develop. And if it's just not going to happen, on to the next year. And I'm already looking to that. It was that bad. Like I think I said on the Friday show, the Packers beatdown was so desensitizing for the rest of the season that anything can happen. I wouldn't be like upset at this point with anybody moving. So that's it. Bears 0-2 on to Kansas City. Not looking forward to that. I'll get to more of a preview and a breakdown on the Friday show, and then of course everything else on that show as well. So, any thoughts lingering on the Bears? Maybe something on the Buccaneers if anything stuck out to you. What were your thoughts?
You have a problem when Baker Mayfield wants it more than you do, Justin Fields. Why aren't you using your biggest asset, which is your legs? It seems like he's a statue in this pocket now. And I don't know if he's been reprogrammed by the staff to do that or what the fuck is going on.
Yeah,
I don't put
there's been some indication. I hate to cut you off, that there's uh that might be the mindset now. Stay in the pocket, go through your read. It was go through a read, and then if it's not there, run. Now it's read, and then maybe run. But by the time he drops back, he's so slow with his drop back, he's gonna get sacked, and the offensive line can hold up. So that's what it seems to be. So I think you're onto something with them, possibly telling him to lay off the running and stick trying to stay in the pocket as long as possible.
Yeah, because I don't want to put everything on Fields because I feel like there's definitely some sort of coaching staff, whatever issue with the Bears because this has been going on for a while, and I can't just say it's Justin Fields' fault. Maybe it's the play calling, maybe it's just the way that they've been developing him since he's been there, but it's just it's not good right now from the hopes of this offseason for Bears fans. And obviously, it's just you can always say you hope that it gets better, but for how long can you say that till it's like, is this guy actually just not good, or what's the problem? But it's going to be a tough game against the Chiefs. But it might be one of those random NFL games where the Bears might be able to keep it close for some reason, and Justin Fields might be able to play well. So
Yeah,
there's
I
just you
mean
never know.
the Chiefs' offense hasn't clicked just yet. Just yet. I mean, I'm sure they will when they see the Bears. They'll just be licking their chops. Travis Kelce's probably gonna enjoy this time. But
Oh, oh
yeah,
no.
I my only thing with I had one final thought on the Bears, and that was just that damn it. Yeah, no, it I wanna keep, like I said, I see the mold, I see the potential. We saw it last year for a small amount of time. It didn't come with wins. It just came with an offensive flow and being able to score 25 plus points in a game. And I don't want to like throw the baby out with the bathwater, as they say, but you gotta drain it a little bit because you gotta get back to what he was doing well, and that seems to be that needs to be what they need to do to be able to win. For him to look good. I don't know. Yeah, because the Bears just haven't won since what was October of 2021, or excuse me,
Oh,
2022.
oh
Uh,
no.
Something awful, almost a full calendar year of not being able to win a ball game. So yeah, that's the Bears. Like I said, don't want to linger too long. I'll get to more of a breakdown, more of a preview for week 3 on Friday. So
Hmm.
why don't you take a gander, talk about those Packer guys?
Packers. Here it is. Well, sadly, I wasn't able to watch this game fully because they fuck us in our area, and I need Sunday ticket to watch them. So fuck you. If the Bears are on, obviously they're not outranking a
To be
Bears
fair,
game.
it was
So
on red zone a lot. There's a lot of scoring.
it was. I got to keep a close eye on it through there, and Jordan Love, 3 touchdowns again. He has one of the highest at QB averages in the league right now. One has one of the highest passing touchdowns in the league right now with 6 in 2 games. He's been cooking, no interceptions. The Packers sadly lost this game somehow.
Cool.
I I was kind of losing track of it near the end there, but they were up by 2 scores going into the fourth quarter after Jaden Reed just got his second touchdown. And I don't know what happened, honestly, but they just completely blew it. And Falcons end up kicking a game-winning field goal to win by 1 point. But Packers are one of the few teams that are undefeated so far in the spread. So both their games, they've covered their spreads. So keep betting on the Packers all season because they're going to be making you money, but bet responsibly. Packers, they're looking at very interesting. I mean, they were able to keep it very close in that game without Aaron Jones and Christian Watson, just 2 key pieces of the offense. I mean, Jordan Love was throwing touchdown to I didn't even know who he was. I still don't even Wicks. I don't know how to pronounce
Yeah,
his
John
first,
Wicks.
but
That's not his first name.
Jordan Love is looking very good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Again, it's been 2 kind of mediocre defenses, I guess, but
For me, it's been that word you said last week. While we were watching, just calm. He's relaxed. That seems to be the word that's right now. And uh, yeah, that's what I would go with him.
I liked him using his legs a couple. Saw some bit run plays with him, getting
Yeah,
some yards.
he's
It
able to get it done.
just,
He was talking shit after that play too. That was pretty
mm-hmm.
cool.
So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're gonna play the Saints next, which will be a good test for him because it's good. I feel like they're a good defense, so be a nice test for Jordan Love. Hopefully, Aaron Jones and Watson are back, so Dylan isn't out there tripping on himself, costing us yards. And
Yeah, that was gonna be one of my questions. You feel like with Aaron, obviously, you get one of the top 10, or arguably a top 10 running back in the league, depending on how he is that day. You think Aaron Jones plays that it's a win, or at least I mean, it can't be any closer. It's a 1 point game, but
oh, if he played in this Falcons game,
yeah,
yeah, we would have won for sure.
I think so too. I think that would have
Yeah,
been big difference. I mean, it was clearly on the other side that Bijan Robinson was an absolute dog. I don't have his stats in front of me. 124 on the ground on 19 carries, and he's got a couple of receptions as well. I think you were wondering. I mean, yeah, I was kind of wondering the same thing. They were up 12 going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, how did this exactly happen? The Atlanta Falcons had the possession by 13 more minutes than them, 36-15 to 23-45.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's definitely a key factor, and I was
Jeez.
thinking about, and I mean, to be honest, gave him an opportunity, and usually you go back in time, 57 seconds, you say that's too much time, that's too much time for that bad man, but there was no bad man. You got a new guy, so I don't know. There was an opportunity. There was that reception. There was a close reception. He caught. There was no catch, so that was on fourth and 10. So it was going to be a turnover on downs anyways, and that ended up being the game. So again, I think good enough that, like you said, we're able to keep it close. Atlanta's feisty. Atlanta's feisty enough. They were at home. They were in the dome. They got enough. They got enough energy. Desmond Ritter is undefeated in home games, going all the way back to college. Did you know that? Unbelievable.
Wow.
What a crazy stat. Uh
This man
and
does not lose at home.
it's unreal. He looks like Ricky Starks and he just balls out apparently. I mean and that was the thing on that side too. If they limit Desmond Ritter and he only turned the ball over once, I think that might have been just overall that one interception might have been the only turnover for the Falcons in general. If they don't turn the ball over, they're going to win ball games. They're going to just run the ball down your throat. Bijan Robinson had a day and some gutsy play calls, a lot of fourth down conversions for this Falcons squad. So you can't harp on it. And you didn't sound like you were too down, too banged up from this loss anyways. Your boys kept it close. It is what it is. And I'm pretty sure, you run that game back 100 times, it'll probably be split 50-50. The spread was as close as it was for a reason. So
Yeah.
yeah. And honestly, if Young Hoku didn't miss that extra point, it would have covered the 1.5. I don't know if anyone had that. So that's a bad beat. Blame Young Hoku on that one, my friend.
Man,
Didn't have that one in there, but that good game for sure. Yeah, that final on that one was 25-24 in favor of the Falcons. Any final thoughts before we hit the rest of the league?
no. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going even though they lost, but that just keep scoring and keep it going, Packers. Come on.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the Packers get the Saints next.
Yeah.
Is that true? Okay. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Another tough defense for them to face up against. Are they in Lambeau or are they in the
It's
dome?
their first home game, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think those loud cheeseheads, they'll be loud. They'll be there. They'll be rocking and rolling in Lambeau.
Yeah, I want to
So
go to a game this season.
oh, you're itching. You've been there last year. You just want to get one in there this year.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. Let's see here. We can just start off from the top and just hit them all the way through. And like I said, if you got a take on it, shoot. If not, we can just plow right through them. Almost like I said like the Colin Cowherd's 3-word game. Just got a couple sentences next to each game. So Raiders Bills. Bills take down the Raiders 38-10. They cover that 8.5 that I was talking about on Friday. It might be just safe to say I think the Bills are just back to normal. Was that what you got from this game?
Yeah, it was. We were talking about if they were going to bounce back. I mean, Josh Allen just had a shitty week 1 and he did great this game against the Raiders. So then
Yeah.
it's the Bills or be the Bills. They have a great defense. And when the offense gets going, then, they're as good as any other team in the league.
Yeah, maybe a little scary as soon as the Raiders opened up 7-0, but it was lights out after that. The Bills just hammered it on. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo for the first time not looking like a good bus driver. He kind of looking a little shaken up, a little rattled, but it makes sense. Bills defense. Matt Milano with a crazy interception, if you paid attention to that. Uh, Bengals and Ravens, a division matchup right here, back to back for the Bengals, and another loss. Ravens take this one 27-24. Concerning for the Bengals just yet, or just again, like I just mentioned, a tough first 2 games, both being divisional matchups. What are your thoughts on this team? Is it time to hit the panic button already, being an 0-2 playoff caliber squad, or are we just
No panic button.
okay?
They started last season 0-2. They'll be fine.
Yeah. I was like I think I mentioned that last week. Slow starts. It's on the report card these past couple of years, and I'll give them the pass for now. Joe Burrow didn't banged up. He's hurt, and I think they said they re-aggravated his calf, so
Oh,
didn't not really having a preseason. I don't want to say these opening games are like preseason games, but he's still getting the rust off, as they say. So I'm with you. Couple more games, if you put up some really shoddy performances, then yeah, hit the panic button. But as of now, I think I'm with you. Pump the brakes. Let's see. Jags. Chiefs take down the Jags 17-9. Like I said earlier, when we're talking Bears, uh, Chiefs offense just looking a little slow start. Actually, Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore actually catching balls and scoring touchdowns. Travis Kelce coming back helped for sure. But Chris Jones came to play, absolutely shut down Trevor Lawrence and basically the rest of the offensive of the Jags offense. Christian Kirk had a pretty solid game in PPR from my understanding, but uh, other than that, yeah, really couldn't get anything done for the Jags. Low scoring. I think that was the highest scoring game, the highest total on the week at 51. It flew under.
wow.
So that was pretty good. And like I said, just Mahomes them struggling, but the defense it definitely packed it in. So anything on this Chiefs and Jags?
Yeah, that was a cool game. We had that on at one of the TVs. It was back and forth. I honestly didn't know what was gonna happen until the end when the Chiefs started to get it going, got that touchdown and yeah, but
Yeah.
Jags look good. They really keep it close with the Chiefs. That close. I mean, they're gonna be a problem all season for whoever they play.
I think so. And I threw it out on Friday, a possible AFC championship matchup, maybe at least a meeting in the playoffs. I would hope, something exciting down the line to think about. Chargers and Titans. This one went into overtime with the Titans getting the field goal win 27-24. Are we hitting the panic button on the Chargers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I am too. This is not good. We've seen this time and time again. The coach needs to go already. Even without Eckler, that was even a big thing. Eckler doesn't come in, and that offense has what, 50, 60 yards rushing. Ugh. I mean, I was at least on the side of like, oh, Joshua Kelly's good enough to come in
No.
and do some work, but this Titans defense came in, sat her down, spanked them, and they couldn't move the ball like that. Fat guy of the week candidate goes to that guy that caught the 2-point conversion. So at least there's that to consider. But overall, I'm with you. Hit the panic button on these Chargers. What are
They
your
always
thoughts?
lose these close games. We talked about it last episode too. They
Yes.
always lose these close
I mean, I'm
against
like
the
I'm not
Titans.
pulling it out of my ass. I wish I could bring it up from last time, but there is some stat where they've lost 3 single point games by there's a huge number of games that they've lost, and they're in so many of them. It's insane. It is bonkers. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, they just can't get it. They just can't get the job done, it seems like. No, I'm definitely worried about them.
Yeah. And I'm not really on the side of that's impressive for the Titans. That doesn't change my mindset on them just yet. A good game from Derrick Henry. I'll give him that, but overall not too impressed. I'm just more of the side that the Chargers lost that game as opposed to the Titans winning that game. Next one, another OT thriller. This one was actually a decent one. Huge total, 68 on the day, and this was the track meet. This was the game I said hammer the over on the Friday show. Seahawks 37, Lions 31 in an exciting OT. I still can't really make heads or tails of these teams. I can't tell if either one of these guys are contenders, pretenders, if they're gonna, everyone says NFC is the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Niners. And 2 of those teams are in the same division. So something's got to give, and someone's got to make a move. But maybe it's the Lions. Maybe it's. I don't think it's the Giants. It's definitely not the
No. I
Giants.
mean, they had a nice comeback win
That was
this.
impressive, and yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, but I don't really see it beyond that. I would like to say that the Seahawks are for real, but you're gonna need some more wins out of these guys. So again, yeah, definitely falling to the Rams week 1 was like, all right. If the Seahawks were 2-0 right now, I'd maybe flip the script and maybe say, yeah, contender for sure. But right now, I'm not can't make heads or tails on either one of these squads. What was your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, this was one of the more interesting ones back
Tons
and
of fantasy
forth.
too.
High scoring, yeah. And the Lions, I thought that they were going to win this game, or at least I had them winning in my parlay. But Lions get cooked up in overtime. Seahawks, Tyler Lockett, touchdown. It was a great game. Pete Carroll is always going to keep it close with the squad he has. Geno Smith again. I think maybe week one it's always maybe rusty for certain teams or most teams. So once the season gets chugging along, we're going to be in week 3 now. We'll start to really see how everyone gets to play. And Geno Smith, they played great. Jared Goff threw his first interception and however many completions it was. You don't get to take Aaron Rodgers' record, Jared Goff.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
that's
buddy.
right. You got it.
You
Yeah, you
don't
got picked
get his
off
record. It's Aaron Rodgers forever. So you tried.
forever.
You tried, but you get intercepted.
That's always going to be his boogeyman. I mean, he wasn't in the division very long with Rodgers. Never mind.
No, but still, the Packer fan in me was just like, good.
Yeah,
Like
good,
like,
good.
you don't take that from him. But yeah, it was
At least he can
it
hang
was a
his hat
good
on
game.
that.
Great
course.
game for sure.
Without a doubt. Let's on to the next one. Colts Texans. Colts 31, Texans 20. We were saying right beforehand, of course we can't prove it, but we're like yeah, fucking hammer it. Colts +1. We're doing it. Dogs. That's gonna be our dog of the day. Turns out that was the right play. Only thing scary, Anthony Richardson out. That might be an issue going forward. Gardner Minshew stepping in. I don't know if that's gonna be the solution, but yeah, hopefully, I guess for the Colts fans, I think they might be rooting for Anthony Richardson to come back soon. So I think he's in concussion protocol.
I
Anything on that
think
game?
Gardner will make it work.
I think so. I think so. He was able to move the ball a lot. So, if I'm a Michael Pittman Jr. owner or something like that in fantasy, I'm still not I'm not upset. So
You were rocking and rolling with a rookie anyway, so it's like you've got a veteran that's been around for a little bit, and he's looked good in the opportunities whenever he's gotten them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that he'll be just fine in the offense that he has.
Absolutely. On to this, you made mention to it earlier, the comeback of the week. Giants 31.
Wait, I had one more thing.
Oh,
real
sure, go ahead.
fast.
Oh, go ahead.
CJ Stroud, 400-yard plus passing game in his second start ever. It's Justin Fields
Hasn't done it yet. Yeah. I think he's the first Ohio State quarterback to do so. Compared to there's a couple other obviously a bunch of Ohio State alumni. They don't churn out quarterbacks. I don't know really whatever college that does, but yeah, not looking good.
Sorry, that's just a Packer fan taking a jab there.
It is what it is.
CJ Stroud, I mean, he looked good. So
when you're out of bounds, I'll call it. That's what I mean. That's fair game, my guy. That's all I gotta say. You lost to Desmond Ridder. Giants 31, Cardinals 28. This was the game. It was a comeback. Shouldn't have been a comeback. Impressive, but again, shouldn't have had to pull the rabbit out of the hat on this one. And Saquon Barkley goes down in the process. He said he might be out for some time. Not ruling him out on Thursday, but I think he might still be out for a little bit. Thoughts on this comeback?
I saw a report that he's going to be out for a couple weeks.
That's what I saw. I saw at least 3 weeks, and this was maybe what sprung the report about the NFL saying hey, NFLPA, don't tell your running backs to fake injuries, this, that, and the other. So I don't know. That's a little hairy, and maybe if you want to talk about that right now, I thought that was crazy that issue that statement was issued literally right around the same time that Nick Chubb his knee got obliterated in the Monday night games.
Oh my God.
Spoiler, again, we'll get to the Monday night stuff a little later, but I thought that was an absolute joke. And again, I guess they're investigating into that, looking into that, but I don't know if you had any thoughts on that or just thoughts on the Giants and Cardinals game in general.
Oh, the comeback was insane. I could not believe that the Giants 21-point deficit. I don't know if that was going into the second half or the fourth, but
yeah,
what a crazy comeback that was, seeing it on Red Zone and shit. And you just sometimes with football, they just keep scoring, and you're like, they have all the momentum right now. Like they're gonna win this game. Like I
Oh
was just,
yeah.
and again, like I can't prove it, but I was just thinking to myself, like they're gonna win this game. Like they were down by a touchdown, they scored 14 unanswered. I was like, well, they're gonna win. They're still down by a touchdown and need a field goal to win. But when the team has all the momentum like that, and it's literally like Madden. Like
Yeah.
when they have all the momentum, your other team's
It's a
kind of
real thing.
cooked.
It's you can't measure it, but it's a real thing that is for real in sports when there's just the juice is flowing all on one side and they're all just down in the dumps on the other side.
And the
That is
crowd is
for a
going
real
hog
thing.
wild,
Yes,
and it's just all of that stuff definitely plays a part in
absolutely.
everything.
The only thing I'll add on that was there was one post. There's like the Cardinals right now. And it was like some girl crying, and then like as the camera gets close, she smiles and winks, and then it goes back to her being like upset again. So kind of just like they're tanking. They're fucking tanking. It's as clear as day. Like they could be up 20 to nothing on the Giants, and they just blow it. So I
No, they're
just
not. No,
they're
they
tanking.
didn't blow that game on
I
purpose.
know, I know. That's that would be crazy. They're always giving it their all. I know. That's just the conspiracy theory in me. Like I said, and going into more into this game,
I think you're
in
just
the next
upset
game.
that Joshua Dobbs is cooking out there.
Yeah, I'm upset that Mr. Alopecia is out there going crazy. He's got a bald head. Um,
They had the picture of him when he scored the rushing touchdown. Oh my. They had the pictures of people on the corner when they score sometimes on broadcast, and the Joshua Dobbs picture was terrifying.
yeah, yeah.
I'll just have
Almost
to
looking like
say.
those Mexican aliens from Peru.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, my guy. We know harm. If you're listening, if Joshua Dobbs is somehow listening, I'm
I
sorry.
think he's a fan, yeah.
Yeah, my bad. I know we range all over the place from Germany. I think we got a couple listeners in Ireland
Hmm.
to Arizona. That's it. That's how as far as we go.
Thank
Uh
you, Dobby.
Thank you. Throw an interception. 49ers, Rams, and this is where another conspiracy of mine comes into play. 49ers 30, Rams 23, and somehow, some way, with a couple seconds left, Sean McVay's like, yep, kick the field goal to cover the 7.5. You can't tell me otherwise that Sean McVay didn't either have the spread or wasn't aware of it. Fuck you. And Puku Nakua, they had another crazy game. Any thoughts on this Rams Niners game?
Yeah, Puka Nakua is crazy. I didn't buy into the hype, but against the 49ers, and he just cooked them. I think he had 15 catches, which is
Yeah.
insane for PPR.
I was thinking in our league, maybe Allen outbid himself, but maybe he got him for a discount because he definitely at this point, if he was still on a free agency, he would have been like a 50, 60, $70 buy, but Allen got him at 53. But no one else was going for him at that time for that amount. So in that sense, there's that. But I don't know. You gotta we'll get to the fantasy stuff a little bit later, but I just thought that was interesting to note. Definitely one of the top free agents for sure in free agency or in fantasy right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And just again, I guess interesting enough that the Rams were able to keep it as close as they were. I mean, the Niners just let them have it. I know Brandon Ayuk goes down, but still, like they're able to go to everybody and they're able to make it work. Again, another good game for Brock Purdy.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see. Jets Cowboys 31 excuse me, Cowboys 30, Jets 10. Cowboys find a way to ruin this crazy start. They will find another way to ruin this crazy start. Right now, 70 points for versus 10 points against in the opening 2 weeks. I just thought that was interesting to note for
Holy
the
shit.
Cowboys. Yeah, almost like Madden type numbers when you would just like, I'm just gonna go play on rookie mode really quick, and that's what happens in the first 2 weeks. You just absolutely pants two teams. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure the Cowboys will be in playoff talk, whether it's a wild card or just being at the top of the division. But just can this be for real? Is this for real? We'll see. I don't know. Just a really rough game from Zach Wilson and the Jets. So I still can't say for sure that the Cowboys are there. Of course, they got everything going for them in a top tier defense, just a suffocating defense. So I can't take away from there. So we'll see if they get a real challenge down the line. Any thoughts on this Cowboys and the Jets?
Cowboys are looking like a powerhouse. Micah Parsons unstoppable. MVP bets through the roof,
Through the roof.
50% going on him. And the Jets are having an issue.
Yeah.
You've spent all of this capital to get this quarterback because you knew you have an issue, and now you're back to where you started and you're cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs. All of this Aaron Rodgers innovative surgery, he'll be ready for the playoffs. Or do they make it? No.
I don't know. It's a long season. The defense will keep them in games, but how many? I'm not entirely sure. We'll see as the season unfolds. Still have to get 5 more primetime Jets games this season. Brutal. I think that's what this.
All
I think
those
that's.
people were pissed after. So I bet they were mad.
Oh yeah. Commanders Broncos 35-33 on a Hail Mary that leads to nothing from Russell Wilson. We went outside, we hit some wiffle balls really quick before the Sunday night game, but that's that when I came back and I saw that Hail Mary had happened and the conclusion of the 2-point conversion didn't happen either. I was like, wow, just another weird way that the Broncos just are the same team as they were last year. Uh, just very interesting team. Now the stat I threw out was like the Broncos are like 19-4 in their past 23 week twos, and now they're 19-5. So I guess I don't know. It's a weird stat. Either way, Commanders 35, Broncos 33. Anything from these two?
Broncos are just gonna be horrible again, I guess.
Yep.
I don't. I thought this was a shoe-in game for them to, and it just was not. So Commanders again. There's been a lot of teams that have surprised me at least. Commanders, Buccaneers, Rams. There's a lot of teams I thought were going to be just shit, and they've
Oh
been
yeah.
all fighting. So it's been very interesting to
Yeah,
see.
I'll take a quick look at the standings when when we're done with the rest of these games, just to get an idea of these 2-0 teams and see if there's actual again pretenders, contenders type deal. Dolphins 24, Patriots 17. I'm gonna be honest, I fell asleep. I had to check the replays and everything like that from
Mhm.
afterward. Another fat guy of the week candidate goes out to that Patriots offensive lineman, catches the lateral, but it does not convert the fourth down, unfortunately. The biggest news out of the day, unfortunately, was just that Patriots fan dying. I don't know if you saw that in the news. Fight in the stands led to a
Yeah,
bunch of
that
people
was
pulling, bunch of people pulling their phones out and not stopping the fight. I don't again. I'm not gonna sit here and blame anybody. I can't sit there and say I would be helping and jumping in either, but still, absolutely unfortunate and super upsetting. And everyone says just it's sports. It's sports. This is supposed to be what is like the what takes you away from your stress and your hate and anger towards things, and you can't bring that there. At the end of the day, Mike and I will yell and scream at each other about the Packers and the Bears and all that bullshit, but we're not going to hit each other unless it's UCW 5, 6, 7, or 8. That's just how it's going to be. uh so that's just how it's supposed to be. You can't condone that in any which way. Absolutely. And on top of that, just when you hear about the story, you watch it and you see all the news articles. His kid was there. He had to witness that. Like that's just traumatizing at the very least. Uh, yeah. So if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, maybe just hop on Twitter, just check out the full news story about it. It's just super upsetting. But yeah, just maybe if getting to the game, just a month, kind of a boring one. Patriots don't really have anybody that stands out as like a really huge guy. To me they almost seem like a college team in the sense that like I don't know anybody's fucking name other than the quarterback most of the time. Uh and that just seems to be the thing. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson, I'm not going to be ignorant. I know Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki, but they're running people out there that I just have no idea that these skill positions sometimes. And they're just a really boring game every time the Patriots are on. They put the defense into the ground and they're just a really boring offense. So I don't know. Didn't pay attention. Uh, Yeah, I think that was basically it from that game in my sense. Yeah, just want to bring that up, and fat guy of the week candidate for sure. So, any final thoughts on Dolphins Patriots from Sunday night?
Um, not really. Like you said, Patriots games can be a bit boring.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're rolling along right now. Let's see. We'll get into these two Monday night games, and then we'll get into some fantasy talk. Saints Panthers, Saints 20-17. The bad beat for anyone that had -3. That was me. For the Saints, boring game overall, minus some pretty amazing plays from Olave. Carr looks like he's to me. I was watching the highlights because I was actually at work. Didn't watch a minute of either of these games until the end of the Steelers Browns game. Carr looks like he's been on the Saints for years, but it might just because the Saints jerseys, the black jerseys, and the Oakland Raiders black jerseys are pretty similar. So it looks like he's been on the same team. I just thought that was kind of funny, at least to me. But either way, also just wanted to point out that at the very least, the Bears didn't fuck up by taking Bryce Young because Bryce Young doesn't look very good either. To be fair, not in the best position to do well when your best receiver is Adam Thielen or Hayden Hurst. But still, not looking too good on the Bryce Young side of things. So, cha-ching in the sense that the Bears are going to get two pretty high draft picks again. I'll take that. Any thoughts on this part one Monday night game?
um, yeah, it seemed back and forth. Panthers almost came back at the end there, right? But I didn't really see this one too much. But yes, Saints were able to get the W, so
Yeah.
good on them.
Some impressive plays by Olave, and this game made me not confirm to me just yet, but it made me realize that taking Atlanta like I did at in the preseason when we were going over divisions, like that's not the worst because the Saints, they were the favorite. The defense is there for sure. But it wasn't a commanding, like, dominant win over these young up and coming Panthers that just got together. I know, again, maybe the score's a little closer than what it was. A last minute, literally with 1 minute and 13 seconds left, able to get this touchdown and the 2-point conversion. So up until then, it was 20-10, I suppose. But either way, it wasn't a dominating defeat win by the Saints, and to me, so just shows to me that division's still wide open. The Falcons can come in. The Saints are right there, obviously, and even the Bucs. The Bucs making some noise, being 2-0 as well. So there's that, and then here you go with the Browns and the Steelers. Steelers 26, Browns 22 at home. We'll get to it on the fantasy side, but thank you to the Steelers defense. I don't know if you knew, but with the last 15 minutes left in the game, the Steelers accumulated -7 yards of offense, but won by 4 points. It's bonkers to me. Another stat that I heard, something about since Deshaun Watson has been back, only like 180. He's only averaging 186 passing yards a game. And this kind of showed once Chubb went down. Now he's officially out for the year. And everyone saw how brutal that injury was. Full
Yeah.
disclosure, I'm at work. I'm at a Target. I'm scanning. A lot of people in the aisle with me. I click on the link because the link doesn't have a descript like, oh, this is Nick Chubb's injury. Warning, don't watch this in public. You're going to scare some fucking people. No, it was just numbers and letters. And I go, I'm going to press that. And I'm looking in. What's going on? Because he just went, oh my God. And his knee is backwards and everything. And I scared everybody in that aisle.
My God.
And to the point where I go, I'm sorry. Someone goes, is everything okay? I go, yes. Then I literally asked, I go, does anybody play fantasy football? No one reacted because it was mostly women in the aisle. It's just how it was. And then, like I said, I'm like, okay, then carry on. I'm again sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
Hmm.
And then proceeded to just keep going. I was like, oh my God. I was literally shaking going the rest for a little bit. I had to calm down. Brutal. brutal injury, obviously out for the rest of the season. I can't make heads or tail again. Was it? Did they not show up because Chubb wasn't there the rest of the game? I mean, Ford had a decent rest of the way for them, scoring the touchdown immediately after, and then I think he had like 120 on the ground. But either way, I mean, I this Browns offense might be in trouble. Steelers defense just came to play. I played Trevor Lawrence and the Steelers defense in fantasy, 2 total touchdowns, and they're both from the defense. I just wanted to point that out. Maybe that's something I want to get to. But either way,
Wow.
uh, yeah, this was an interesting game. Like I said, for the sake of fantasy, my anxiety was high. It was very exciting towards the end, and it went over. I was very that was the other thing. It was a pretty low total, and pretty low total is like 39.5, and it just blew right over. So, any thoughts on this last one? I think this was the more exciting of the 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, I saw a bit more of this one, and yeah, I thought the Browns were going to win this game, and the Steelers end up getting the W. So Deshaun Watson has not been playing to his guaranteed money standards that they paid him.
Not
So
at all.
they're gonna have to figure something out with that. And without Nick Chubb, Ford did look good, but they definitely have some questions up in the air.
And that can only be for so long. I mean, you've seen time and time again where the backup has been able to come in and he gets a ton of yardage. That's only because there's nobody else really behind him, and they haven't really game planned for this running back necessarily. So, but given the rest of the season, Ford can do well, I'm sure, but he's not Nick Chubb. He's not Nick Chubb, and not a lot of people are. To be fair, I mean he had 10 rushes at the half, 64 yards, and a lot of people were upset because his over under was at like 80 something, very low. It was close. And from what I saw, a couple of sports books voided anything that had him involved. Maybe you got your money back, I'm sure, but either way, it's a tough one. Of course, always thinking about the player over any one of your bets beforehand. So and fantasy. So
Yeah,
get well soon, Nick Chubb. It's again just he had a very, from what I understand, similar knee injury when during his college days.
I
Bounced
believe so.
back, bounced back, and still is being as dominant as he was in the NFL. You can only hope that he does the same thing. A little older now, but I'm sure he'll get something back sometime soon. So we're thinking about you, Chubby. That was the NFL slate. That was week 2. That was basically what I wanted to get to news wise and everything. Just maybe really quick, I can look at some standings. You can tell me of these 2-0 teams, who is maybe the most impressive and who is maybe someone that you just truly don't believe in. So I'll rattle them off for you, and you can just keep note. The Dolphins, 2-0. The Ravens. Then we move on into the NFC. Those are the only 2 AFC squads that are 2-0, the Dolphins and the Ravens. In the NFC side of things, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Commanders. And then we have the Falcons, the Saints, and the Buccaneers, as well as the San Francisco 49ers. So, again, I rattled off a couple of them. If you need me to recap, I'm sure I can. But of those names, who do you think maybe just who's for sure's in, and then who's going to be falling off towards the end of the season? I think there's obviously a layup with a couple of these that were rattled off in these NFC South.
Yeah,
So what were you thinking?
I mean the 49ers are going to be good for sure. They're 2-0. They'll be great this season. The Cowboys too. Those are 2 that they're just going to be great, both of them. The Commanders will not be 2. I mean they're 2-0 right now. I don't think they'll fall off for sure.
Yeah, just playing the Broncos and the Cardinals, not the biggest report card, not the biggest games to rely on for this 2-0 start. Very young season, and yeah, like I kind of alluded to earlier, I want to believe that one of these teams are going to surprise and beat out the Saints. I don't think I don't think the Saints have enough just yet to stay up with this very young Atlanta offense, or I don't know. I don't think Baker Mayfield can keep it up with this. Again, they've played arguably the worst two defenses in the Vikings and the Bears. So I think there's something to worry about there. Dolphins, I think arguably they were saying this last week when they had the 460-yard game. They could fuck around and win this division. I mean, again, everyone stays healthy, and the Bills will play down to some competition throughout the season as well. Dolphins can stay up there in this division now, especially with the Jets not having Aaron Rodgers. That helps them there, and the
Yeah.
Patriots spotting them 2 games in the early on in the season. That seems to be good right there for them. Yeah, a couple 1-1 teams, but there's nothing really to there. Of course, the Bengals are 0-2. We talked about that earlier. The Chargers being 0-2, the Broncos being 0-2, concerning. Definitely in that division, you don't want to spot the Chiefs any more games than they already will, and the Chargers and the Broncos have done that now. Bears 0-2, Vikings 0-2. Again, I said that on the Friday show. If they want to be legit or stay competitive, you don't want to give the Lions any games, and that's exactly what they did, dropping to the Bucs, falling to the Eagles. And then I mean that seems to be the thing. It's going to be a little tighter in the Seahawks and Rams than I thought so, but I think that's going to be that's how it seems to be shaping up in this young season so far. That's again interesting. I'll be looking at on Friday. I'll be doing my week 3, my spreads, totals, other props, going through every single game, and then in the last segment we'll be doing again same things, fantasy side of things, going through every single game, starts and sits on the agenda. Speaking of fantasy, if you're good on that, there's actually one more quick thing I can mention. Just shout out to them. October 1st. I think you have to wake up early for this one, but they're running on Disney Plus. Falcons Jags in a Toy Story like animation game. Will you be tuning in?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
I
Can't
gotta
wait.
see that.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun. Yeah, again, anything that's involved like that, he'll hook, line, and sinker. Get the games on Nickelodeon, get the games on Disney Plus, make it all animated and fun. You got me hooked. Anything for football. Onward onto that, like I said, fantasy football, Des Nuts Fantasy League. We can recap our week like we did last time. Recap week 2, winners and standout performances from last week, and then any waiver moves, any big fab spending that stuck out to us from this past week. And then maybe a quick preview onto week 3. Prediction winners, standouts for that game as well, and then any standings, points for, points against type deal. If you're ready to hit it, I can go ahead and we can talk about week 2 matchups. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you want to start off, or did you want me to go ahead and hit the one between me and Dom?
You can hit it. I gotta get this app already.
Okay, sounds good. Alrighty, this was the exciting one, at least in my mind, obviously because I was participating in it. But I would hope on the outsider looking in, you were like peeping at me and Dom's score going into Monday night, like, oh, this is really fucking cool. This is cool. This is close. This is way too close. I mean, at one point, I was up by 0.04 after the defensive score by the Steelers. I'm doing an awful job of even setting it up. I'm down 18 going into the Monday night game. Dom has Miles Sanders and I have the Steelers defense. I sent it in the group chat, not to showboat or just to literally prove that this is a real conversation that I had with this person that I was like wondering, like, hey, should I drop this? Should I do this? Should I do that? 15 minutes before that game was kicking off, I was debating whether I dropped the Steelers defense for the New Orleans defense simply for the matchup, this, that, and the other. And at the last second, I'm like, nah, play it through. Steelers have a better matchups next week. I'll bite the bullet. I'll maybe even take the loss this week. That's fine with me. And then the Steelers defense showed up, scored 2 touchdowns, forced 4 fumbles, recovered 3 of them, and I think they had about 4 sacks. I think that was the number on the day.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 defensive scores, 6 sacks, no safety, an interception, and 4 forced fumbles. 3 of them recovered. I mean, it opened up hot. The first pass of the game was the pick six. So that felt good. But again, I wasn't watching these games. I went to work with the mindset that I lost. That's okay. I'm not going to let it affect my day. That's fine. I turn on the radio as I'm coming home, and this game is close. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And TJ Watt scopes, and he's at the 20, he's at the 50, he's at the 10, he's at the 5, touchdown. I go, no way, no way. Because that was already the first touchdown. I'm honking my horn. I'm going crazy in my car. I'm looking like a crazy person going down the street. And I look up again. Dom puts up, he goes, .04 is crazy. I go, no. Am I losing by .04? Flip the script. I'm winning. I'm like, no fucking way. But there's still so much time left for the Browns to score. Luckily, they fucking did not. I don't know how, by the skin of their teeth, a couple more sacks the Steelers are able to accumulate. And I come out with the win, 160.44 to 158.4. Holy fuck. That is fantasy football. And I don't mean to say, and again, it's the waiver wire, it's the free agency mind. If he at one point in time, he had Cam Akers in, he goes inactive at 3:00. He has to make a decision. He goes for Samaj P. Ryan. He then drops Samaj P. Ryan for Ezekiel Elliott. He plays Elliott. Elliott goes for 1.9, 1.3, excuse me. Samaj P. Ryan had 5.4. He would have beat me by 3 points if you went with Samaj P. Ryan. Ifs and buts, ladies and gentlemen. Ifs and buts, candies and nuts. That is fantasy football. I mean, the defense, in my mind, picked up the slack for Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne. Otherwise, 23 from McCaffrey. Across the board, everyone just seemed to have 20 or 15 or more. Was a fun performance all the way around. And I mean, optimized lineup. I looked at our thing too. It would have been 194 to 192. This was a crazy game. A lot of fucking offense on either side. And again, I mean, just either side. He would have won the optimized lineup two matchup because I mean he had Kirk Cousins on his bench for 36. Even he outscored Patrick Mahomes of all people. I don't want to stay too long on this. I'm glad my guys got the win. Good way to start out 2-0. Tough, like I said, tough beat. I love being on this side of fantasy. I've been on that other side too, Dom. It stings. It sucks. You just got to look forward to the next week. So that's fantasy 160, 158 final. Any thoughts on our game before you get to yours?
Yeah, that is a crazy way to win. The defense came up so clutch. 21 more points than their projection, 20 more basically. When Dom's players went off, the 4 had over 25 points. At 5, even, you could say. And Dom just can't get the win. Wow. And what a close game. Holy fuck. And
Could
yeah,
not get any closer. Like I
there's just
said,
all those little things that you say that I mean, like he could have started Kirk Cousins, but why would he have done that? You know, he could have started Christian Kirk over Herbert or something. He could if he just made other decisions, he could have won this game, or even you could have started other people, maybe vice. It's always vice
yeah, I
versa.
mean, I could have made a couple moves that would have made it more of a comfortable lead, but again, he would have had an upper hand in a couple of aspects, like he said, 36 from Kirk Cousins. I didn't have another option for QB. I was stuck with Trevor Lawrence's 7. I just have to be like I said. Shout out to McCaffrey 23, Debo 21. Amon St. Brown at 14. Andrews was the second best tight end on the week with 15. Of course, Hawkinson's number 1 for him, but it is what it is. Just a lot of touchdowns. That seemed to be the thing. My boys were scoring touchdowns. That's the only way that they were able to stay involved. That was the key difference. So it's a tough break. I know they'll get together. Dom's team is still looking good, still cooking. So that's gonna be that. That was week 2 for me and Dom. How is it looking for you and Alan?
Well, I dropped to 7th place after losing to Allen. I got destroyed, just 108 to 165. Josh Allen had a good game for me, and Stephon Diggs and Metcalf did all right, but everyone else on my team, 2 points for Williams, 5 for Harris, 6 for Kittle, 8 for Hopkins, 5 for Pierce. That's my team is horrible. I've already I just am already depressed about
Oh,
my
come
team. I'm
on.
0-2. I'm trash. Uh Allen cooks me with T. Higgins and DJ Moore, and I mean his whole team's pretty decent. So no one on his team scored under double digits, but basically everyone on my team did. So yeah, I mean I just get cooked this week. That's really all there is to it.
Couple of injuries on your side of things definitely played a factor. I know Jamal Williams gonna. I think the quote was take a little bit or something like that. He's gonna need a little bit with his hamstring. But I mean, you you just gotta wait a week, one more week after this for Amari Cooper, or excuse me, Alvin Kamara. Uh, and then I think there was a rib injury for DK Metcalf. He actually came back in the game, and from what the report says, he's feeling okay too. So a little banged up. Some people will come back and play for sure. But I mean, yeah, just on the flip side, Allen 165, like you said, no one under double digits on his side of things. T. Higgins was the standout, bouncing back from having 0 to 28 this week. That was one of my prop give outs on Friday, over 60.5 receiving yards. And then again, Cowboys defense showing up almost 20 points. So it's a tough ask when that happens. And then a pretty solid game out of DJ Moore without scoring a touchdown as well. I mean, you were right on Josh Allen. Bounce back game for Allen, 30 points. That was a big one right there for you. And a nice little if you maybe did he find a firm touchdown this week? If not, I mean the hook between him and Stephon Diggs is going to be nice no matter what. 7 for 7 on the day with targets and receptions. So if he can convert that into getting a score somehow, some way, it's going to be nice. I wouldn't don't put your head down too early. I
Mm.
believe it was Kyle started what? He was 0-3 last year to start 0-4, and he ended up winning his league. Shit happens, man. There's always time. There's always hope. I don't want to put too much hope into you because we're playing each other, but I hate seeing you down in the dumps like that. So it's a tough break. It's a tough one. I mean, he scores 165, so it would have been one of the tougher things to get throughout the week. I think it was one of the highest scoring ones of the week. Excuse me. Yeah, highest score on the week was Allen 165. If you are you good on that one, we can move on to another game. If you're good on that,
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine with that.
for sure. I got in front of me Cocaine Cowboys, South African Turtles. Does that sound good to you? I can go ahead and
Yeah.
that one, and they can finish off with AJ and Ivan. Uh, Pete gets the win on this one, 135, 128. Unfortunately, he's got Nick Chubb. He's gonna have to find something to figure that out. But a big game from Hurts, 27 right there. Waddle also in concussion protocol. Playing the rookie Jordan Addison gets another big long touchdown, but that was on Thursday night. And another pretty solid game out of James Conner. So that seems to be the only bright spot for the Cardinals. On the flip side of things, still coming in hot, trying to keep it competitive and close. Keenan Allen and Josh Herbert hooking up for damn near 58 points, 58.3 points with combining right there with the hook. Bijan Robinson, a complimentary 22.2, and then can't always get 40 games out of Tyreek Hill, but 15 isn't too bad either. Again, just not enough right there for the South African Turtles. Pete takes the win, 135, 128. Anything on that game that I didn't get to?
Oh,
Little low out of Josh Jacobs. Maybe you're looking. Some people are curious on that. Lower scoring on Kelvin Ridley, and then 0.9 from Brees Hall. That's a tough ass going up against the Cowboys. So I'm not. It's again that's a tough one, but I don't know. Like I said, anything right there.
no, yeah, I mean it was a close game. You pretty much covered everything there. Again, you could always make they could have made some differences here and there, but that's just how it is.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Let me take a gander. I didn't even really take a gander at the bench. Yeah, I mean, almost like you said, if he would have played Gabe Davis, he could have played. Oh, he could have also played Raheem Mostert in that same breath. So kind of almost offsetting themselves. If not, Pete gets an extra couple of points. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, we get an extra 6 points still in that switch off. So it's okay. It shit happens. Like I said, close one really early in the season. That's why we play fantasy. Did you want to take a crack and go ahead and take the lead on Schlimes versus Goat, AJ versus Ivan?
Yeah.
All right, go for
Uh,
it.
all right. So AJ beats Ivan this week. Ivan is falls 0-2. AJ is 1-1. AJ wins 157 to 115. Um, the Bengals just didn't perform as well as they should again this week, which hurts Ivan's team.
Well,
And
one person did. That was on the T. Higgins, and then that was on Allen's squad. So
yeah,
you get you get 4 chances. You take 3 out of the 4, and you miss all 3 somehow. Yeah. I mean, if the Bengals, we said the last time, Bengals don't do well, then Ivan won't do. The Bengals will go as far as Ivan does. Ivan will go as far as the Bengals do, and so
yeah,
far, rough start.
he
But he
had
does
some
have Kyron
decent
Williams.
players, but yeah, AJ's team did very well. He had a lot of players that had great games. So when you score 157 points or point as high as that, it's going to be tough.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, before he went out, Barkley at 27, a big one from Lamar, of a big bounce back game from Lamar Jackson, 26. Derrick Henry having a Derrick Henry like game, 18. And then Devontae Adams scoring. Devontae Adams and Devonta Smith, the Devontas, 20 and 25 respectively. A little lax on Kyle Pitts, only 3 points there, and 3 points from Madison and Pitts. It is what it is. On the flip side, on Ivan's squad, yeah, a little disappointing on the Bengals squad. On the Bengals side of things, Ramondre Stevenson caps off Sunday night with a touchdown. But it was Zach Moss with 20 points was the intriguing thing to me. Finding out that he played damn near like 96% of the offensive snaps for the Colts, something
Wow.
crazy like that. It's a big number, and it was a positive correlation in the sense that he got 20 points. Can that hold up? We'll see. They're not really a check down first type team, and I don't know what that's going to be the game plan again with Gardner Minshew in place. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Looking at their bench, I mean, DeAndre Swift with 28 on AJ's side of things, he could have added a couple more points. And on the flip side, Kyron Williams, good free agency pickup by Ivan, 28 points on the bench thing. So a couple more points, but I don't think that Ivan was going to get the dub either way. That seems to be in my mind. Any final thoughts on that game? We can hit the previews on the quicks.
Yeah, that's it. I think that about covers all of
Okay.
those.
Yeah, actually, really quick, we'll previewing, just looking at any big fab spending over the weekend before we got to anything. Yeah, we were giving him shit, we're giving him flack, and I think rightfully so. $52 for Delvin Cook by Pete, unprovoked. Nobody else went for this one, and in the process, dropping Kyron Williams, who would have been the number one free agency pickup of the week in my mind. Uh, so any thoughts with that one? There's no other big real spending. Maybe Sam Laporta to AJ's squad. Roshan Johnson gets re-added by Allen. Gus Edwards to Allen's squad. I had to drop my guy Quentin Johnston for AJ Dillon, but I got to do what I got to do. If I at the time AJ Dillon was the number one, and Quentin Johnston really isn't getting as many targets as I would like. So till that gets an uptick, Quentin Johnston, my brother, he will have to be on the in the free agency pool. Um, yeah, I don't think anything else doesn't really stand out that on that side of things. Yeah, honestly, in my mind, what would be the big free agency pickups in a lot of other leagues? Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams, and then I'll argue Tutin Atwell just because I have them. Those would be the bigger 3 to go snag, and they're already off the free agency side of things. We won't really be getting too. Won't be getting in depth at all on what's free agency in our league, anything. But I guess just one less thing for people to worry about in this league, I suppose. So get your it'll already be a day after, but get your free agency in, get your waivers in, boys. You got to do what you got to do.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Fab dollars spent. I think we already, if we didn't already gave him flack. Allen spent 25% of his fab already. I think AJ spent about 10% already. It's Ivan, you, myself, and Dom haven't spent any of the budget just yet. And I mean, it's not not to they've spent the boys have spent a lot. The boys that have spent a lot already. But I'll give them this. Good job on spending. We don't get any extra points. We don't get a trophy for keeping fab dollars, but we're being a little strategic. I think some are being strategic and others are just not pulling the trigger just yet. So either way, so far so good on that. And then, like I said, we can just hop into, if you got any comments on that, we can just hop into previews.
Um, yeah, it's just, oh yeah, I didn't even see, you could see everyone's budget there.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's jump into previews then.
for sure. I mean, I just rip the bandit off. It's us two, man. It's me versus you. We can just both piggyback back and forth on this. I'll just quickly go through it. I'm like, of course, I like my squad. Nice 2-0 start, 0-2 game. I'm not looking past you. This is not a trap game. This is as competitive as still as it is. You're
Yeah.
you're still a threat, my guy. I'm not liking this. So you got to make a few moves. I'm sure. I know this lineup isn't as as it finally will be, but not in love that a couple key players have to go on Thursday. That's just my style, but I gotta play these guys. Gonna have to play McCaffrey. Gonna play Debo, and then I can only hope that a couple of these question marks they were from cramping, and I only hope that they can go away as the time goes. So Etienne and St. Brown, drink some water. It's hot out there. Drink some water and don't get stung by any waspises. That's what I can only hope for. Either way, like I said, just hoping for some touchdowns. And I just wanna enjoy the day and want to enjoy the week because I know the Bears are probably just gonna get mollywomped again by the Kansas City Chiefs. So hang my hat on some sort of win. Who are you looking forward to on your squad side of things? How are you feeling on this?
I guess I'll say Josh Allen since he's the only good player on my team. So
It's a
I'll
nice
say
matchup
Josh
playing
Allen.
Washington. Yeah. And you got the hook, of course, so that's always scary. Yeah, it's a tough go. It's a tough ask. Oh, and then Najee playing Las Vegas on a Sunday night. The Raiders don't play defense; they suck. So it'll be fun. Definitely be intriguing as always, and just bragging rights. That's all it is. It always is. And like I said, we'll see each other as it being an 8-man and playing 16 games. We'll see each other twice. That's just how it. Or excuse me, playing 14 times. My math was off. Having 8 teams. Yada yada yada. Playing in a 14-week season. We'll see each other twice. It'll be cool. Let's see how the season series goes. Any final thoughts on this?
Um, Yes, we'll see what happens. The best of luck to you. I'll probably get
As
cooked
do
up.
you. As to you. I want to fucking crush you. I mean, no, honestly, for real. It'll be fun. It'll be good. I can take the next one, and then you can pick and choose between the last two. I got Allen in front of me. I got Allen versus AJ. Number 2 versus number 6 on the standings as of right now. The only other squad that's undefeated. We got Allen going up against AJ. Let's see. He's rolling with Fields up against Lamar Jackson. Currently questionable is David Montgomery was carted off. I'm not sure what the game plan is right there. But I mean, a big one, I would think Olave's going to have a challenge going up against Jair Alexander on the Green Bay side of things, but that'll be intriguing. That'll be fun to watch for sure. And then I think it just goes without saying, T. Higgins might just absolutely obliterate the Chicago Bears this week. And I'll top that off on Allen's side of things. Finally playing Puka Nacua. Spent all that money on Puka Nacua and Tyler Algier. Didn't play either one. Finally pulling the trigger on Puka Nacua after he broke the catch record for a rookie or something like that. So shout out to him. Hopefully he can get you some points, Allen. That projection, 20 points for Puka Nacua. Projection,
Holy
schmection.
shit.
That's what it smells for me.
Wow.
On AJ's side of things, Currently questionable. I think he's going to be out. So Saquon is in there. They're reporting they're not going to be listing him out until the day of probably. So you're just going to have to worry about that. Derrick Henry having a nice matchup against Cleveland. Possibly that defense got a little banged up, but also could be looking forward to Lamar Jackson against the Colts. You have a running all over them. Anyone else there? Any other good matchups? Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that'll be close. Yeah, that is what it is. So AJ and Allen on that ball game right there. Ah, two running quarterbacks, Fields and Lamar Jackson. It'll be interesting to see, and it's a tough matchup for sure with Justin Fields going up against KC. So, points,
Yeah.
points, points. Any thoughts right there?
Um, yeah, Allen's projected some more points than AJ here, about 20 more, but should yeah, I mean AJ's got a great team. He's only projected lower because Barkley's not probably not playing. Yeah, so I'm sure it will be a close one here.
Oh yeah, the projection right now is a little off, like you just said. He'll be able to make the adjustment and get someone in there. Did you want to talk Sebastian and Ivan next, or did you want to talk Pete and Dom?
Yeah, Pete and Dom.
Go
I
for
can
it.
see here. I can see him.
Ooh, look at this
Uh,
QB matchup.
yeah, this is going to be a good one. Pete going up against Dom. Pete's got Hurts in there, and Connor and Gibbs, Waddle and Addison starting ad. Darren Waller, Mostert, Pittman, McPherson, Eagles defense. Good team for Pete. He's got some decent bench players. And then Dom's side, Mahomes, Aaron Jones might play this week. We'll see. Miles Sanders, CD Lamb, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawk, Mike Evans, Kirk Cousins, Christian Kirk, Harrison Butker, and 49ers. He does
I
have
mean,
Kirk Cousins on the
he's got the
bench, but
Kirks. He's got both Kirks. He's got Christian Kirk. He's got Kirk Cousins. He's got Kirk to Kirk.
so yeah, this
Potential team name right there.
should be a good one. Dom's projected a lot of points.
Oh yeah, I mean, getting damn near 40 from Lamb and Jefferson. In my mind, a little high on Sanders, but that just might be because they're playing in the dome. It's always a track meet there. I mean, Miles Sanders does get the touches, but it's just what he does with them is what he does with it. And then a big one from Patrick Mahomes, almost 30 points. He's gonna obliterate the Bears. Yeah, that's what I would think on that side of things. I just complimenting Pete's side as well. Just a Monday night game. He's playing Tampa Bay. That could be intriguing. Maybe some upside for the rushing. Low on the Gibbs side of things, projection wise. I don't know why. If David Montgomery doesn't go, I know they brought up another running back, but I would think Gibbs would probably get would get the green light. I don't see
Yeah.
why not. And then the only thing you might have to pay attention to, Waddle was in concussion protocol, currently questionable, but if he goes, I'm sure you got to play him. I would do that. I got him. My brother has him in another league. He texted me. He goes, Waddle or Romeo Dobbs? I go, always Waddle, never not Waddle. It's always Waddle. So that was just the thing. Uh, yeah. Any final thoughts lingering on Dom and Pete?
Uh, Not really. I wish them the best of luck as to everyone.
Oh, always. Finally, wrapping up this one, we got Ivan and Sebastian hitting this one really quick. Ivan's rolling out again with the Bengals squad. He's got Mixon, he's got Burrow, he's got Chase, Stevenson, AJ Brown, rolling with Evan Ingram. Still got Zach Moss in there. Got to pay attention to Brandon Ayuk, Jason Myers at the kicker, and Cleveland Browns defense as of right now, rolling with that. On Sebastian's side of things, Justin Herbert, Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, again, low on the projection schmerschmection. Keenan Allen, Tyreek Hill, Dallas Goddard, Calvin Ridley, Brees Hall, Tyler Bass, and the Jets defense. In my mind, like I just mentioned, with the projection schmerschmection, and both in a dome. They both love being in a dome. I was able to pull this from on the Friday show, just hitting the Homer Simpson going dome. Every dome game, you're gonna be able to hear that every time I mention on Friday. Bijan's gonna go absolutely crazy. If I believed in it, but I'd be a praying man for anybody that had to go up against Bijan Robinson. He's gonna be a problem for a lot of teams for the future. Uh, on Ivan's side of things, maybe finally does Jamar Chase have the 1-1-1-2 caliber game that people have been drafting him at? I think this is fine. This finally has to be the game going up against the Rams. We just saw other wide receivers just in the past. I mean, Debo had a nice game last week against the Rams. If Brandon Ayuk didn't go down early, he probably would have had a nice one too. Um, Either way, I think this has to be the matchup for Jamar Chase to to step up and show out. So that's my mindset. Anything on this game, anything on this
Um,
matchup, anything on these players.
well, yeah, Ivan's gonna need the Bengals to have a great game against the Rams here, and Sebastian, yeah, they both have their respective hooks, so it's
Yeah,
just
they
who's
got that going for them too. Yeah, Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert for Sebastian, and then Jamar Chase Burrow for Ivan. So there you go. There's that.
yes, I mean, should I was just I feel like you got everything there. I mean, it should be a good game.
Love seeing that. Love how that's going. Obviously. Uh, that's fantasy. That's gonna be the matchups for this week. Like I said, hopefully, if you're enthralled in our league, hopefully you enjoyed that all the way through. Maybe you got some fantasy talk or something that you can rely on. I don't know if we, like I said, we don't deep dive in tips and tricks, but something I'm sure slips out that's meaningful and worth something of note. I don't know. That's at least my mind. Anything final notes, questions, concerns, fantasy going into this week?
Um, yeah, not really. Just like, yeah, best. I wish luck to everybody,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, it'll be uploaded the day after, but I mean, maybe just for the next week, have your waivers in, make sure everything's right, spend accordingly, and just I don't know. That's about it. Don't brush your teeth with frosting. That's a bad move. Uh, that's it. Good luck. Good luck to you, my friend. We'll be in person as always, unless do someone pulls an Adam Cole. I got sick. Type deal. Oh, you weren't sick. No, that won't be the case. We'll be rocking and rolling, chilling at the place, watching the football as we always do. If you're good on that, good on football in general, we can lightly touch upon some quick MLB and some wrestling to wrap this bad boy up. We're already about an hour and 30 deep. I don't want to go too much longer, like I said, for the sake of just my mental case. And like I said, we don't. If these sports are lying low, they're dying down. So like I said, don't want to put too crazy much into this. And I'm not talking White Sox, so it's a tough ask. So are you good on that? Ready to roll?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Cool. We can lightly touch upon just some players that are done for the season. Uh, Maybe if you made mention of it and made notice, Scherzer is going to be. He went down for the Rangers. He's going to be done for them. I mean, also they it sucks to up on that they lost DeGrom earlier in this season, but the one we really want to get to. Ohtani. It was reported that Ohtani had left the building. He had packed up his locker and had just had shipped off. He went home, packed his bags and went home, took his ball, went home. Later revealed they put him on the IR for an oblique injury. Yeah, right. But again, shut down for the season. Not going to be seeing Ohtani. Most likely will not be seeing him again in an Angels uniform. I was right. 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 Nah, nah, nah. So was a lot of people. I don't know. Again, it was a toss up like that. But again, just to really rub it in that the Angels they are the true poverty franchise. Of course, you can everyone do it's a White Sox. Yeah, whatever. It's this. When you have two of the best players ever and you can't do jack all, it's the Angels. Just my thought, but Ohtani done. I'll maybe just toss up thoughts on him leaving. Where do you think he's going? Anything like that? What'd you get from this?
Um, yeah, I saw that he had the surgery earlier today, so he'll be ready to pitch in 2025, ready to bat 2024. Yeah, it's just wasted potential for all that time he was there.
Wasted time.
Yeah, just wasted. So
It's upsetting. Like I said, I won't get on too long because that's just I say the same thing each time. Angels front office, jail. They should be in jail. Pennant races, wild card races, couple things to get to. Like I said, we'll stay on it for a little bit. It's Sox are done. They were officially eliminated about a week or two ago. But I'll say this: at least someone in the town in Chicago in the city is enjoying it. Cubs fans are still somewhat in contention. Had a rough go. Dropped 5 out of their last 9, if I'm not mistaken. If it wasn't that, it was 5 straight. Getting swept by Arizona, who's very much in the wild card standings as well. And if I'm not mistaken, the Reds, the Marlins, the Giants, the Cubs, they're all within a game or a half game within each other. I think the Reds and the Cubs are tied. I'll take a look at some scores as of right now just to be for sure and just have a full on update. But very close. And I was warning Cub fans, especially the ones that were too hopped up and worried about what the White Sox were doing instead of worrying about what their counterpart was doing. They're worried about all this, that, and the other. They maybe have gotten too hot too quick, and sure enough, dropping some games. They're up 5-1 against the Pirates. This is a critical series now. The Brewers are still winning their series against. They're up 5-3 on the Cardinals. Let's see. I don't think the Reds, the Twins beat the Reds, so that was big. And but the Marlins beat the Mets. The Marlins have the Mets 6 out of their next 9 games. So since just stuff to note with that, there's only 11 games left after tonight, or there'll only be 10 games left after these games go final on Tuesday. It's close. It's not punching time. It's a grinder. It's a grinder right now. So between the Cubs talk, there's that. I know there's other people that are close. The Orioles up 2.5 games on the Rays as of the last time I paid attention to the standings yesterday, and then the Astros up only a game and a half on both the Mariners and the Rangers. Maybe I guess I'll just throw up the question to you. What's the most intriguing? What's the closest? What would be something that I know, again, we're not Cubs fans, but just blank slate. What would be the most intriguing to you? I suppose.
like in regards to
And maybe is what's the most like what should I be paying attention to race wise? Like, is it more exciting to be watching this wild card race? Is it too close to call with the Rays and the Orioles? Again, pretty interesting with their Astros, Mariners, Rangers. Every single day, it seems like somebody is first place in that division. Uh, yeah, just it was anything of note there. I mean, maybe just anything from those teams in general, maybe.
I mean, I guess the Cubs wild card stuff because I've just been interested to see. Just I know some people at work that are Cubs fans, so I've been keeping track of that, even though I'm a Sox guy. But yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, they got to get a little bit of the bats going. They got to get some stuff going for sure. Like I said, they get 2 games against the Brewers. I know this series against the Pirates, another series against Colorado, but then they go on the road to Atlanta for 3, and then they finish off the season with the Brewers. So there's still some must-win games for the Cubs for sure. I mean, without a doubt, as close as it is, it was a little closer than they should have been. They were up pretty high. I think they were up like 2.5, 3 games in the wild card, and then just pooped the bed. A couple losses on their side, couple wins on the other team's side, and it's closer than it should be. So that's that on at least on the pennant race side of things. Any final thoughts on that, or I can wrap up with a couple more stories.
Yeah, I'm all good.
For sure. The Rays are getting a new stadium. They're planning on getting another dome. Kind of somewhat involves in our wrestling side of things because I'll leave it at that. But The Rays are getting a new dome. Only similar thing, about 30,000 plus. I don't know what the layout is. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, this looks pretty good." So, haven't been to Tropicana myself. I know it's to be honest, nothing but negative things for the most part. A lot of people do not like that stadium. Uh, but yeah, just I guess good on them. Good for them that they're getting new plans. Any comment on this?
The new stadiums are always awesome,
Yeah.
so good on them.
There we are. And then final thing in the MLB and a nice transition into wrestling. Our guy MJF, at least my boy MJF, rocking his shirt better than you, baby. Him and Adam Cole. He went to the Mets game. I don't know if he enjoyed a win or nothing, but he brought the belt. Someone in the Pro Wrestling Tees VIP was able to get a picture with him. So it's good to see that face. MJF is willing to take pictures with the fans and do all that fun stuff. So it was a nice way. MJF hopefully enjoyed a Mets win in some sort of way. If not, just enjoyed enjoyed the field and the ballpark. And just a nice way to talk about wrestling into this side of things. And there's coming up some big things on wrestling and some big returns that already happened. We'll get to that right now. But Angle and Rogan. Angle's going to be on Joe Rogan coming up. I haven't watched it just yet. I think it debuted today, if I'm not mistaken, Tuesday as we're recording. I'll be getting to that. I've even straight away. I want to get this one all in one go. I don't want to watch any clips and spoil it. So I heard they're going to be talking about the amateur wrestling side of things, probably the gold medal side of things, and I'm sure his broken freaking neck. So him and Rogan look too much alike, but I'm sure they're gonna have a fun conversation. Of course, Tony Hinchcliffe always joining in on him. Are you gonna be listening to this one? Listen to this Joe Rogan experience?
Oh yeah, and when the wrestlers are on, you got to.
Yeah, especially you just had Hulk Hogan on about a week or so ago, so that was pretty good. Um, yeah, like, a little bit strapped for time. I'll just click on the Grand Slam card really quick. We can breeze through it. If there's any match that just stands out, must watch, must do. I think it's mostly just going to be the main events for these for me, and maybe a sprinkle in John Moxley and Ray Phoenix on Dynamite. That's going to be intriguing. So Jericho Guevara going on Wednesday. Moxley and Ray Phoenix for the international title. Oh, sorry. This one is also going to be, I think, a banger. I think Eddie Kingston gets the win. Eddie Kingston, Claudio for both the titles, the Ring of Honor and the New Japan Strong over openweight title. Sarai and Tony Storm for the women's title, and then MJF Samoa Joe on Wednesday. Uh, what's sticking out to you? What matches? What are we looking forward to?
Um, to MJF and Samoa Joe will be great, and um, just Chris Jericho and Sammy maybe.
Yeah, it is
That
Chris
should be
Jericho,
cool.
Sammy. That ought to be fun. Carry through with that storyline. And like I said, I'm a big into Eddie Kingston and Claudio. I think I think Claudio drops the title. Kingston carries on. They trusted him with the New Japan title for a reason. So he's gonna get that. And then maybe push Claudio into the world title picture in some way, somehow, after this whole MJF Adam Cole friendship situation gets solved. I think that's going to be a good night for Wednesday. Rampage is going to be a 2-hour Rampage. I was looking at this card. I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to put 4 matches into an hour. Orange Cassidy, Hook, and Statlander versus Anna Jay, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker. Darby and Sting versus Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. I think that ought to be fun. Mogul Embassy, Brian Cage, and the Goats of Agony, the Gates of Agony versus the Elite, Hangman, and the Young Bucks for the ROH 6-man tag titles. And then for the trios tag titles, Acclaimed versus Dark Order. I think we're both on the same side of things. I think we're going to go with the Embassy versus the Young Bucks and the Elite. On this one, is that going to be the match of the day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
The Young Bucks might have to carry a little bit. I know Brian Cage is pretty decent, but those Gates of Agony guys they're the shits. They're not very good, at least in my mind. I don't know. They're good enough
Yeah.
to throw some people around and be big bodies, but not very intriguing on any sort of thing. So that'll be fun. I also like Darby and Sting versus Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Christian Cage is just firing on all cylinders in my mind. Collision so far this card, I think they might add at least one or two more in my mind. RVD is in action. I wonder who he'll go up against. I think he won't get a run of the mill like jobber. I think he'll get a guy like Tony Nese or something like that. One of those type of lower tier guys that still somewhat make an impact in my mind. Jay White and Andrade is going to be the match for me. Danielson and Ricky Starks in a Texas death match. And then FTR and the Workhorsemen for the AEW World Tag Team titles. In my mind, yes, that's just a throwaway match for FTR, but I'm sure Aussie Open will come in before, during, or after, cut a promo and get involved. FTR still wins and retains the tag titles because they're having the Wrestle Dream matches. That was the big one. Aussie
Yeah.
Open and FTR Wrestle Dream, and that's already stacked up. With only 3 matches announced, and I'm salivating. I need this pay-per-view already. FTR Aussie Open, Swerve Strickland and Hangman, which I've been talking on this Bad Karma show. Swerve has arguably been having his best wrestling, his best promos and everything right now. I believe he should go over in this matchup. I don't know if he will. This would be huge for his momentum and huge for his career to get one over on Hangman, a former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And in my mind, wouldn't be a big negative on Hangman's side of things. Just goes to show you Omega drops two straight pay-per-view matches and the Young Bucks. Are we worried about that? No. Hangman can drop one, put Swerve over, and I think that would be the right move. And then, of course, obviously, we already mentioned it, Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr., that's set for Wrestle Dream as well. Stacked, ready to the gills. This Grand Slam weekend is arguably a pay-per-view worthy nights of wrestling. Overall, from the Collision side of things, or just overall sense on this, how you thinking on Grand Slam?
It should be great. It's all great shows, and it'll be packed in there. It should be a fun time.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. One last AEW thing before we hit WWE on the way out. Just shout out to Isaiah Cassidy. His action figure, after a little bit, it was in ringside collectibles. It was released on there, but finally hit stores, hit shelves around the way. And he went ahead, he took just a picture of it in stores, just like, man, just a young kid, this, that, and the other. It was really just a humbling thing. I wish I had it ready on my phone, just the exact quote from it. But follow him on his Instagram for it and take a look at it. Just really like it's just really nice when he's still a young kid, and just being like, he's one of those things where like, wow, I'm an action figure. I'm like a star. I'm on TV, shit like that. So when they realize that they take a step back, and it's humbling, it's cool to see shit like that. So shout out Isaiah Cassidy. I've seen it in stores, have not pulled the trigger because I'm being a little cautious with my spending as of late. So sorry if it's on sale, maybe I'll pull the trigger. Sorry Isaiah, but till then, gonna have to pull the trigger on that. So just shout out to Isaiah Cassidy. Any thoughts on that? I don't know if you saw the post, but just anything like
I
that.
did not know.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Shit happens. Well, yeah, on to the WWE side of things. This was the bigger one. I mean, maybe could have led with it, but it was just whatever. It's in my notes. So I've talked about it on like I said, the Bad Karma Wrestling. Make sure you check that out. Finally, The Rock has come back. He has returned. A humongous pop. Can't recreate that. In my mind, they've said it. They led. This might have just been a spontaneous thing. He was on the Pat McAfee show. He said, "Hey, come on down, do a promo, do something," and they were able to do it. He did right at the beginning, cut it on Austin Theory, and he was out the door, out the window. So reports say that he was just there for that. People jump the gun and say it's going to be him and Roman at WrestleMania. Others have reported that WWE is saying that Cody Rhodes is still main priority for the WWE. So you can jump back and forth. Either way, can't take away the excitement and the pop that he got. That was awesome. What was your reaction to The Rock coming back?
Yeah, that was cool. When the crowd goes nuts, it's always a great sight. It's always nice seeing an awesome pop like that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I'm just getting the crowd interaction. It seems like they went a little bit over. And I don't know if it was planned or not, but Austin Theory gets one in on him. He goes, "It doesn't matter what The Rock thinks." And I would have ran around like Mick Foley and goes, "Austin, Austin." Like when Mick Foley did that to him back in the day. That was great. But I thought it was an all around decent promo. Finishes it with people's elbows for both The Rock and Pat McAfee. Maybe Pat McAfee looking gangly and cringe on purpose, but that was a really bad people's elbow. Yeah, Cody probably will finish the story. This was just fun for everyone to linger on and to think like, oh, is he coming back for this? Is he gonna be at WrestleMania? Is he gonna be doing this? Is he gonna be at Royal Rumble? I don't know. This writer strike has just been interesting, considering that Cena's back for some time. Yeah, I guess he main evented being on the Grayson Waller effect show. I hate when they do that, when the talk shows are the main event.
Yeah,
But that's just how it be on SmackDown sometimes. Either way, fun to see that. Great pop, and we'll see what the story is going forward. In my mind, that's the second biggest return. Nia Jax was the biggest return of the week, but that's just my opinion. Everyone else can be, oh, The Rock this, The Rock that. Nia Jax is here to make a difference. I'm not like most girls. uh Somewhat relating to Nia Jax because everyone thinks the first feud will be together. Jade Cargill, possibly rumored to come to WWE. This was going around making its waves. Her AEW contract expired. Had her final match on Rampage with Statlander. It was a good match. For what it's worth, Statlander carried the match. I don't want to be too much of an asshole, but good. It was a respectful way from everything that I read from behind the scenes. Jade loved the ways that she was treated by AEW. Was treated with the utmost respect, and the best idea that she felt and they felt for creative was to put Statlander over in the correct way. This was the best way to do it. Uh, and just my quick thoughts on everyone. It's just so funny that every time these WWE marks, these stands go, "Oh, she shouldn't even be wrestling. She shouldn't be doing this." And then as soon as it's rumored that they might go to the WWE, oh my God, dream match Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. Dream match Jade Cargill versus Becky Lynch. How long should Jade Cargill have the WWE Women's Championship? I should when to okay, all of a sudden she's the Ric Flair of the women's division. Okay, whatever you however you want to spin zone this, man. It's just so interesting that seems to be the case every single time. Uh Wardlow's is dumb and has a dumb haircut, but as soon as he might be rumored to go to WWE, oh man, he's the best wrestler of all time. Everybody can't wait for him to come in here. Just saying. That seems to be the theme when it comes to these things. I don't want to take away anything from her. Talented on the mic, in ring work still needs a little bit of work in my mind. But either way, wherever she wants to go, get paid. Do what you got to do. I have no quarrel, no problem with Jade Cargill going to WWE, staying with AEW, or I don't know, being a fucking. She could be a movie star if she wanted to. She could play some sort of action star. I don't know. She got the build. She got the build for it. That just seems to be the thing. Ripped to shreds. Thoughts on this? Maybe I went a little long on it. Like I said, it was really interesting to me that this story, where Jade Cargill was the story for a couple days, a little longer than it should be in my mind. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I wish her the best in her future endeavors.
That seems to be the text. Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be that. One more quick thing. I mean, there's two, but I don't want to linger on these too long. WWE merger made official. They laid off a bunch of people. Is talent next? We'll see. We'll just have to we'll have to see on this one. Minoru Suzuki had a match on a train
Yeah, I
yesterday
saw that.
for DDT. I thought that was pretty cool. I just thought maybe those the subway wrestlers, they were probably like, he stole my whole flow, bar for bar, word for word. That's the only thing I could think of. Was yeah, of course, everyone. If anyone's ever seen that, the New York train wrestlers or whatever they're called, the subway
Subway
wrestlers.
Mania.
Yeah, Subway Mania. Thank you very much. Those guys were probably sitting there like, The fuck? What are you kidding me? Shout us out. Say something. Yeah, there was that. Finally, this is the only thing I want to get to. Royal Rumble 2024, the revealed that it will be at Tropicana Field, something I was lingering to, it's something I was talking about earlier. I guess, I mean, bad for baseball, but good enough for a wrestling show. I don't know. They'll pack the house, of course, and maybe the layout will be intriguing, but I haven't been there personally. I don't know if you have. Like I said, talking about it from the MLB segment, everyone that I know that has gone down there, I've known at least 10 different people that have gone down there, been to that ballpark. They say it's the drizzling shits. The Tropicana Field is not a good ballpark and by any means.
Oh,
So hopefully they turn around, make it look good for a wrestling show. I can only hope, because I mean the Royal Rumble is somewhat sentimental to me. It's right around my birthday. It's a little special to me, and just overall, it's one of the better pay-per-views all overall. Like the match itself is must watch just about every single time. So I just hope that they're putting a lot of hope and consideration into this. So either way, that was just my thoughts, feelings on that. Anything on Tropicana Field or for Royal Rumble 2024?
uh, it's as long as it looks awesome, then I love it. As they're
Yeah.
in a cool place and everything looks cool and it's packed in there, I'm there for wherever they are. Well,
They'll always
I'll
make
be
it look
watching.
good. It's just the only thing that's the big complaint on it. Again, haven't been there personally. It's a pain in the ass to get there. It's like one highway in, one highway out. It's not even in Tampa. It's in St. Petersburg. Again, that's where the Tampa Bay Rays. They're just the Tampa Bay Rays. They're not even in Tampa. They play in St. Petersburg. There's a good account is bring the Rays back to Tampa, or move the Tampa Bay Rays to Tampa. It's a good follow on Instagram. It's just funny. Just shit posting about the Rays. Either way, that it just seems to be fun. Good news all around, good wrestling, a good week ahead of us. Like I said, check us out going forward. Fridays, Bad Karma Wrestling on what was it? Whatever page. One day X Bomb Wrestling, X Bomb. I don't know. I'll share it on my Facebook. Bad Karma Wrestling. We'll be doing that starting to go up again Fridays. Friday going live on twitch.tv/sportstownshy. This about wraps her up. This is episode 36 in the books. Check, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Alan, for taking those notes. Thank you, Troy, for watching, listening, taking those Kentucky updates and sharing us with them. I'm sure we'll be getting those as the season goes by. Pretty good start for them. Thank you, Mike. Always, like I said, taking the time out of your day for joining over here. Bad Karma Wrestling, already plugged that. Friday show, join us in 1 p.m. twitch.tv/sportstownshy. Play us back here on YouTube. Like and subscribe. It's free. Doesn't hurt anybody if you do it. You can play us back on Spotify as well. Do that. Any final last words for the people, Mike, guy, before we head on out of here?
Have a great rest of the week.
There
Woo.
we are. Like I said, take care. We'll see you next time. See yas.